All right, y'all. So I'm trying to knock out several readings today, and I had gotten a request to do Megan Thee Stallion a while ago, and I got a request again recently after she released the Cobra song, the new video for Cobra as well. And in that song, she made an accusation where, we have to assume that she was speaking on Partisan Fontaine when she said she came home. I guess she was supposed to be working and she caught him, you know, having something adult like done to him in the bed that they share. So I want to tap into the energy around Megan. Lately, she has announced that she's gone independent. I figured this will be a good deck to use for Megan because she does like anime. So this is the anime tarot deck. And like I was saying, she was saying that she's gone independent now. She's out of the contract with 1501. And she's funding her own projects. And she had said something about possibly starting an OnlyFans to fund her projects. And she was telling the hotties to make sure, that they turn up and they support. So I want to tap into the energy around Megan now that she's an independent, and the energy behind Cobra and what's to come for Megan Thee Stallion. Alrighty. Okay, so the King of Cups. King of Cups is someone that's very, very deeply into their feelings, and they're keeping their emotions under wraps. Ten of Cups. This is a family card. So being that we're going off into the time of the year with the holidays, and Megan has had significant losses in her family, this is a tough time for her. She really is having a lot of emotions right now that are running through her over losing her parents and her grandmother and just significant people that were close to her, that were considered family and that were family. Okay, so this is focusing on stability. Four of Wands, Nine of Wands. This is the wounded warrior. Someone who is constantly in battle. King of Wands. So this is looking like this. It's surrounding action that's going to be taken for her future stability. To bring her wish fulfillment. Nine of Cups. There's a hangman, bottom of the deck. What is this hangman that could come between her and her wish fulfillment and how she executes getting what she needs now that she's independent? Okay, so Ten of Wands. This represents heavy burdens. Ace of Discs, Five of Discs. Hold on, something else. Ten of Cups. So when we look at this, Ace of Discs, Five of Discs, this is putting out a lot of money, spending a lot of money, possibly being put between a rock and a hard place because of all the money that has to be invested. So she has to be very careful about how she spends money and how she invests money into her career, because independent money is way different from having money from having backing. Because there's some things that you can get from having a backing that are attached to relationships versus spending money that you don't get when you're independent. Okay, so the Lovers. What about the Lovers? Okay, so Four of Swords, being laid to rest. And Six of Discs. So this is a situation that either was on pause or just came to an end. And this relationship, because the Lovers doesn't always mean a relationship, but it also could be like a business relationship. Something that was very fruitful was laid to a rest. So this is not necessarily 1501. This could be another business entity, another business relationship, or just certain business relationships in general are coming to a rest. So she really is at this point a man alone, or, you know, a woman alone rather. Ace of Swords. This is a card that represents truth. So this is looking like she's carrying deep feelings, and she's not sharing with people just how on her own she really is. Because we have the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck, and the Hierophant would speak to the stability. So it's like Hierophant in an industry reading would be the powers that be over the industry, who represented stability. What about them? Nine of Swords. There's an anxiety here over her stability. Princess of Swords. Well, Princess of Swords is like, now she has to come to the table and represent herself. She has to come before these people and deliver whatever it is that she needs to deliver to them without, you know, the marketing, the PR, the packaging. Yeah, this is, once again, has to take all this action alone. The Hermit. Feeling stabbed in the back. Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups is a very intuitive woman. Also someone who could be into who could have been like a mother figure, someone who represents alchemy. And this person, oh, this is interesting. Abundant person, like I said, could be like a mother figure. It's like this person has laid things to a rest with her, and they've done it in such a way to where it was covert. The Seven of Swords. We would never know, but there's been a severing of ties between her and some type of mother figure, or somebody who, how do I say this? Someone who represents a certain type of majesty and alchemy. We'll say that. Okay? So Prince of Cups falls under the Nine of Cups. So that is a wish fulfillment to come and give an offer. Seven of Cups. Considering your offer, excuse me, considering your options rather. And also, you know, having to be careful with being overindulgent, because it brings conflict. Seven of Discs. So this is like, you know, sowing seeds for a bigger harvest. She's investing into herself, but she's finding that this is like way harder than she thought, because it's bringing on the Ten of Wands, which is having the whole weight of the world on your shoulders. It feels like she didn't know that this was going to be this hard. She didn't know all these multiple pieces and parts and mechanisms went into doing things yourself. And now that she's doing these things herself, she's understanding why you have to put on your armor and why you have to move a certain way, why you have to conduct business a certain way. King of Swords. No hard feelings, but you have to come to the table a certain way. So now we got, you know, walking away from the Lovers, which is not just romantic relationships, but this also represents business relationships. So in her energy is both. So now that she's severing ties romantically, business like, Nine of Discs, the independent woman, because that's who she is now, financially and romantically, the High Priestess. Now I told you, somebody who represents higher alchemy and someone who is majestic, who represents abundance. There's a Nine of Swords here to this stability. Why is this like this between her and this energy? Oh yeah. The Hierophant, the powers that be. And it failed trying. She's not in proper alignment with the industry anymore. The Devil. This is realizing that you're tied into something. You're trapped. You're stuck into something. And you didn't read the fine print. Eight of Wands. So it's like, you know, all of a sudden now she's having epiphanies, because it's like now that she has to come to the table for herself, she has to come up with her own money. It's an unrequited offer on a lot of the things that she's invested in, a lot of the things that she wants to work with. Five of Swords and Four of Swords. So this was a lot of harsh communication and finding out she has to lay some of the things that she wanted to do to rest. She's not able to get things accomplished in the way that she thought that she could, the way that she thought that she would, because it's not just about money. You have to have the right relationships. You have to be put in the right positions. You have to not only have money to pay for things, but you have to know how to pay for placements. She's realizing that some things might just be above her pay grade. Two of Wands. Okay, so it's like now decisions have to be made after walking away from certain relationships. And these decisions bring heartbreak. Wow, art. And we're talking about career rise because we're not just speaking on her love life. So it's heartbreak attached to some decisions that have to be made, attached to her art, due to her not being in alignment the way that she used to be with certain people and certain positions in the industry. Things that she's trying to manifest, things that she's trying to go into agreement with, because this represents going into contract negotiations and agreements, going into partnerships for future stability. And it's like she's considering her options because a lot of things from the past are now giving her a hard time. It's, like I said, they're giving her a hard time. Deep, heavy sorrow and regret. Eight of Swords and the Sun. It's like now things are being illuminated about situations that she's attached herself to, things that, you know, she's been stuck in. Because this is like being stuck, being trapped, being bound to something. That's an unrequited offer. Ace of Pentacles. She wants to make the money, but it's costing a lot of money. She spent way more than she expected in the courts. Justice. King of Swords. Princess of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This will be her, the star. Things are being laid to rest. And it's like she has hope for things. The Empress being fruitful. Ace of Disc, you know, that's like ultimate abundance. Because it's like this is what she wants to do. She wants to go off into business. She wants to level up. She wants to put her own projects out there. But some things or somebody is cooling her down and putting her on ice. So, you know, she's deciding to just go ahead, do what she has to do, full steam ahead. You know, she's pushing through on certain things and she's making waves. She's making waves. So it's not like she's not getting anything accomplished because we got the King of Swords and the Eight of Disc. There's someone who's very high on the food chain because this also represents a businessman that is affecting work for her. Strength. I mean, she's scrappy. She's holding on. She's fighting. She's pushing through. But the Seven of Swords, there's definitely like some kind of sneaky manipulative energy here. Empress, Five of Cups. So, like I said, there's Seven of Swords, Four of Swords, which is, like I said, certain things being laid to rest due to unseen hands. Ten of Pentacles. She's finding out how much of a dirty game this is. Acon, this represents, what do you call it? This represents judgment. And Five of Disc, Prince of Wands. So between court, spending a lot of money on lawyers, finding out about how the boys club works with relationships, and being froze out by certain people. It's putting her in a very, okay, fire department, there we go. It's putting her in a very cold place. It's isolating her to a certain extent, because there's a lot that she wants to do, and then there's a lot that she's finding out that she's going to have complications with trying to manifest. Six of Cups, Queen of Swords. So Queen of Swords would be her as the air sign. And then this is her looking back over, you know, old relationships, old situations that brought her joy in the past, being nostalgic. And then, like I said, you know, like being out in the cold, being ostracized, having not so great communication, even harsh communication with certain people, certain representatives. Yeah, heartbreak, Three of Swords, the Prince of Disc. Money is moving slower than she expected. Princess of Wands. So, you know, usually for me, when I do a reading on Megan, like the Queen of Wands, I consider the hot girl. So it's like the industry has reduced her. Not just, it's not just her going to be an indie, but it's like she's been reduced back to going back to the drawing board, as if she didn't amass the success that she's had over the last few years. It's like she has to start all over again from the bottom and climb back up, so to speak, in a lot of different ways. And this is causing a lot of conflict. This is going to be a hard road for her. I mean, if she can push through and prove herself as a businesswoman, I see things are going to be fruitful, but it's going to be a in the long run thing, and she's going to have to shrink down her projects to make them more affordable for her, so that she doesn't go broke financing things herself, because things can get very expensive very, 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 very fast. So this is my tap in on the energy around Megan Thee Stallion now that she's an independent artist and she's in control of a large majority of her career herself. Until she signs to another label and she gets backing, she's going to have to be very careful about her budgets and how she spends her money, because she could really end up in a rut in the hole financing herself, and it can happen very, very swiftly. It's very expensive to put things out in the manner in which she needs it put out, because she's not a chitlin circuit artist. She has to look at budget and marketing for radio and all these different things, relationships with people, where, you know, this comes in handy, where if you're good with promoters, if you're good with radio DJs, where you can call them up and kick it with them and they can do you a solid, versus you paying for rotation in the programming, because that is a thing. It's no longer payola. It goes into a marketing budget. So these are things that she's going to have to figure out so that she can successfully maneuver. If she figures these things out, it could work out for her, but she definitely has to be very careful about how she structures and budgets her money, because I see it going very, very fast, faster than she expected. And that's not a good look. But it can be done. So we'll just have to sit around and wait and see. Everybody have a great day. This reading is adjourned.